But yeah, Bailey wanted to know specifically for outdoor venues, are there any challenges that those present that are different from Vegas or indoor arenas?
I think there's different challenges. I find that in outdoor venues there's a lot less challenges because most of it is concrete areas, and you're able to navigate through ramps and such. One thing that I would caution you to also check into. I'm so glad that I'm able to participate in this because I feel like I'm going to help a lot of people with one of the things. If you are in a wheelchair and you are getting somewhere, going to a venue, you need to call the venue ahead of time and you need to say, I'm going to this show. What time do I need to be there? And what area do I need to park in? I need to be in this certain spot so that they can give you a designated thing. The reason why I bring that up is because when we did Qtopia, we had to go on the other side of the parking lot, and the parking lot was not asphalt, it was gravel. So my friend pushing me across that was really difficult. So it's ideal to know what venue you're working with and go online and be really well versed with reviews and those sort of things to get yourself educated about what you're going to experience. Because it can literally, not to overuse this word, but it can literally taint your experience because by the time you're there, you're exhausted and you're, frustrated and all of those things.
Gotcha. Awesome. That's good because that's questions. Honestly, I could never have. I would have never even thought about that. So, next question, and this is actually a question that I had because I think about this all the time, and I know that neither you or Chanel have been on cruises, but what you guys are gonna, what your answer to this now will at least help a little bit, even for that venue, but for any other thing, what can fans like me do? To make your experience better and to not do something that's going to potentially detract from your experience. And also, what can we do to make your experience safer? So it's kind of all under that same umbrella.
That I don't know. I think my experience overall with going to after parties and shows and such has been very, very good. There's been some, with everything comes with the fandom. There has been some pettiness, but that comes with the territory. I think sometimes there's some people that don't, if you don't respond or do a certain thing a certain way, then things aren't as understood. So I think that just a little bit more understanding and a little bit more patience. I'm 34 years old and I've lived alone for years. I've had my own apartment since I was 23, and I've had to learn and I've had to grow and I've had to evolve and adapt to my surroundings. I'm used to my apartment. I'm used to what I do, but when I go out of town, I don't know what I'm facing. I don't know, not facing, that's a bit dramatic, but I don't know what I'm going to experience. So I've become a little bit more dependent on others. When I'm super independent by myself here, I find that I'm a little bit more dependent on others because I get a little bit fearful. So I think it's just a matter of the people, the circle that you're around saying, hey, like, how come you can do this at home, but you can't do it here? Like hold people accountable, and say, I think it's important to dialogue and voice things that bother you. Tell the person that you're with. If you're with a person that's in a wheelchair and you feel like they're depending on you too much, say it. We're not gonna we're not gonna cry, or well, we might, but I don't know. But I think it's really important to say, set the tone, set the limits, set the limitations for, like, okay, I can push you, or I would love to help you, or just be understanding, I guess, is my point. I hope I didn't derail the whole question, but
no, you didn't. That's actually, your answer is unexpected for me, because I was kind of expecting you to say things like, don't be a bitch. Don't, be careful while you're walking. Don't push me aside. But I think the answer that you just gave, I think it's probably an answer that a lot of people in your situation would relate to. It's not the answer that I was expecting because, and I've seen you post stuff like this on your personal Facebook, where like you get offended when people say things like you're such an inspiration, and and all that kind of stuff. Speaking, realistically, and I hope that you understand the spirit and what it's given. That answer that you gave is just so empowering, and it is an inspiration in a way because that's absolutely not the answer that I was expecting to get from you. I wasn't expecting it to go down that road at all. I'm glad that it did because that's an aspect of it. Psychologically, for you guys, it's probably very important that we just totally miss in trying to be, I guess you might even say politically correct, or trying to be a concerned friend. We end up trampling and being less helpful than we actually could be by being too helpful.
Yeah.
So
and then I know from my experiences, I become too dependent on that. And then it's like, wait, I could do this at home, but I can't do this, So it's just a matter of being aware and knowing who you're around and knowing those limitations. And the same goes for the other person. If you're rooming with someone in a hotel room, they need to be able to dialogue with you and say, listen, I don't feel like I need to be pushing you, or I feel like you need to be doing more. And that needs to be completely fine with me because I'm an adult and that's something that, I do anyway.
Yeah, if they weren't around you. It's
right.
Basically the same I view when my boyfriend takes me to dinner. I don't expect him to pay for my half. I was going to eat anyway. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I totally get what you're saying there. Before I move on to the last two questions, Bailey sent me another one. Okay, this is a question honestly anyone can answer, but I feel like I think she wants to know specifically from you and Chanel. How is it meeting the boys? She doesn't want to be too nervous. And Bailey's been messaging me back and forth since I started these vlogs. And probably one of her biggest concerns is that she's going to be too nervous to actually speak. And I've tried to put her at ease myself. And I've tried to tell her she's a Kevin girl, like I said. You think you're going to get in front of Kevin and you're not going to be able to function. But I know for him in particular, because he's my favorite, he has a way of just calming you down and just getting you zen. The other boys don't make me as nervous. So, like, I guess since Brian's your favorite, I don't know if you want to speak on Brian or just on all the boys. How was it meeting them for you?
For me, the very first time that I met them, I was shocked because I was thinking, wow. And I was thinking, wow, like, wow, I'm speechless. Like, they're real people. They're not like just from a, from a TV perspective, and so I remember thinking that was my first response. But meeting them has always been sincere, and they don't treat you any different. They treat you just the same. They talk to you eye to eye. And, in my case, I'm 4'9", so they have to shrink down a little bit. But,
okay, Brian, have to look up at me.
Yeah, it's always just been very sincere and very excitable and they listen to what you have to say. There's nothing to be nervous about. Honestly, if you calm your nerves and just don't picture them in their underwear, because that might not work out so well either. You might get blush and all of those things, but just be normal, be calm, and just talk to them like you would talk to your friend. And they're not any different than you or I. They just happen to be entertainers.
I would agree with that 1,000% for Bailey or for anybody else who's nervous about meeting the boys. Particularly that when you meet them for the very first time and you're that close to them, that thought, which to people who aren't Backstreet Boys fans or who don't have a thing for a celebrity like we do, the thought that, oh my God, they're real people, they actually exist, like they're flesh and blood, and they're standing in front, that is something that goes through your mind.
Yeah.
And it sounds like a crazy thought to have. Because like I guess people are like, would you think they were holograms or something? And it's like, no, but they've been such a part of your life for so long, to see them standing there and about to have a one-on-one interaction with you, it is surreal. That being said, they do a really good job of just talking to you like a regular person, and just, you know, even if it's a brief interaction, they're probably going to come away having learned something about you.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it's just that you just love them so much and that's all that you're able to get out. They're, whatever it is that you have to say, even if it's gibberish, they're going to listen. And I think, yeah, that's something that a lot of people who have not met them yet don't realize, is that those interactions, it's not something that they went to some charm school to figure out how to talk to people, or some PR firm put them through it. They just stand there and talk to you and listen to you like you're people, like you're talking to them, like it's a conversation, and it's genuine.
Yes.
And that's all it is.
For sure.
So just try not to overthink it. And that's going to be actually real easier for you to do than you think it will be, because you won't be able to think, period, let alone overthink.
And also too, if you're so nervous, you only have a limited time to talk to them. And you're so nervous, and you have that one experience, and you're just like gonna psych yourself out and not speak, and then you're gonna waste that experience being so nervous that you won't even have that opportunity. So
exactly. And you will come away, no matter what, you will come away thinking, God, I wish I'd said this instead, or I wish I told them that. It's gonna happen. You could literally have the most dictionary perfect Backstreet Boys meeting of your life, and you're going to come away with a regret. I promise you.
Oh, yeah.
That's why in a previous vlog I said, if you're really worried about being that nervous and there's something that you really want them to know, or that you want to ask them, write some questions down on a little index card, or use the Notes app on your iPhone or your Android, whatever, to pull up and be like, okay, I knew I was going to be nervous. I knew I was going to forget. Here's what I have to say. And hopefully that'll help keep you on task and keep you focused enough.
Mm-hmm.